This year, I've been exploring a variety of new mediums to create artworks. From watercolor inks and airbrushing to modeling clay and epoxy resin, I've been experimenting with mixing these elements together to create paintings, a technique known as mixed media art. I love experimenting with different textures and effects that each material brings to my artwork. For example, I use clay to build 3D embossing effect, and airbrush too for perfect gradients, and gold foil to enhance the shimmering effects. So in this video, I'll be sharing the complete process of how I create my mixed media paintings using various mediums from start to finish. While trying new mediums and techniques sounds exciting, it can also be challenging, especially when you're a self-taught and working with unfamiliar materials. When I first started using... This is my dog. She's a little bit clingy, so... Say hi! When I first started using an airbrush tools in my painting, I felt a little bit overwhelmed and wasn't sure how to use it without making a whole mess. Even though there are plenty of tutorials and informations online, but I still wish for something more in-depth, like classes or guided lessons that I could take, so that I can learn more about this tool and really master the techniques. And that's where today's sponsor of this video, Skillshare, comes in.
Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts in fields like film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. Whether you are looking to advance your career, build a new skill, or explore a hobby, Skillshare has the resources to take you to the next level. On Skillshare, I found a couple classes that teaches airbrushing. These lessons allowed me to dive deeper into the material and learn unique techniques from experienced artists. By completing the exercises, also helped me to master this new medium much faster than I expected.
Beyond our classes, I was also very interested in learning more about filmmaking. On Skillshare, I was able to learn from the professional filmmakers, and this has helped me to improve my filming and editing skills. So this video might look slightly different than my usual ones.
If you are looking for something more advanced and want to deepen your skill set, Skillshare offers Learning Paths, a curated sequential collection of classes designed to help you master a specific skill. From building a dream career and perfecting dessert recipes to mastering the art of animation or music production, you can learn from the experts on Skillshare.
For anyone who wants to learn or level up their skills, Skillshare is a really great place to start. The first 500 people to use my link in the description below will receive a 1-month free trial on Skillshare. Have fun learning, and now let's get back to painting.
For this mixed media painting, I will be working on an artist's gesso board and using modeling clay to create the star embossment. I begin by using a color pencil to sketch the draft directly onto the gesso board. This step helps me to plan the exact areas where I will apply the clay. Once the draft is complete, it's time to prep the modeling clay. The first thing I do is portion out the clay and put the unused one back into the Ziploc bag to prevent it from drying out. After taking out the right amount, I start by kneading and folding the clay to soften it. And then I will add a generous amount of water to the clay. The extra moisture makes the clay wet and sticky, ensuring that it will adhere better to the gesso board and reduce the chance of cracking later. When the clay starts sticking to my hand and easily retains fingerprints, it means that the clay is ready to use. At this stage, I begin building the 3D embossing layer of this painting. During the entire process, it's important to keep the clay moist and it sticks to the board without any gaps. If there are gaps in between the clay and the board, the clay might come off easily, so I usually press it down firmly with some pressure and use plenty of water to really fuse the clay seamlessly onto the surface. After the modeling clay has fully dried, the next step is sanding the clay embossment. I use 2 different grades of sandpaper, starting with 600 grits for shaping and finishing off with 1000 grits for a smoother surface. Once the surface feels smooth and perfect to paint on, I apply a layer of white gesso paint. This step further secures the clay in place and also provides a perfect base for painting. Now it's time for coloring using an airbrush. This thing is called an airbrush booth. It is an enclosed workspace with ventilation that prevents paint particles and fumes from spreading. If you are considering doing airbrushing, I highly recommend investing in a booth. It minimizes overspray, protects your health, and keeps your workspace clean. For the finer details, I will be using my Holbein acrylic gouache. This is the part where I let my creativity take over and just go with the flow. And this is how I create my mixed media painting with the 3D embossing effect. I hope that this video will be helpful for anyone who is interested to venture into the mixed media art field. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. Thanks again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!